Some background info. I live right by a bike trail cuts into a dense forest that goes on and on for miles. The trail is actually laid upon old railroad tracks, and along the way there are still old pre-1900s buildings lost in the dense forest that still remains unexplored. When I was a kid I was always deathly afraid to go out into these woods for some reason. Well, what I encountered today has rekindled that fear. This afternoon at about 1 o'clock I really felt like riding my bike. The weather is so nice now and I love being alone out in the woods away from everyone, so it was perfect. I pack up a notebook, a pen, always on hand in case of inspiration, and a big bottle of water and head off into the woods. The opening is so tiny against the vast dense forest you have to know exactly where it is to find it. It always seems spooky and mystical because it's just this black almost doorway looking void amidst this mountain of trees and underbrush. I speed down the hill as usual and in a couple of seconds reach the crossroads. One goes forward into the thickest parts of the forest, the left goes towards the city and highway, and the right goes out into the open endless fields and farmland with a big patches of forest spread throughout. I sat there for a little bit, took a swig of water and head right. I haven't been out very far past the fields before and I have a day to kill, so I keep going and going and going. Past the open fields and the huge pastures, past the familiar broken down railroad checkpoint or whatever it is, past the one single house that lies just outside the trail, past the huge rusting metal bridge. So I'm going and going and going and eventually I see a beware sign nailed to a tree, then another, then a couple altogether nailed to an old busted phone line, and finally a huge wooden barricade that says, "Stay out." Pick related except imagine thicker and the trail like 20 feet higher than the tree bases. The thing was already pushed partially out of the way like someone had been in before me, and being the rebel that I am I just had to see what was back there, something I soon came to regret. So I am riding again and the forest is far thicker than before and on each side of the trail about 4 inches out it drops right off, steep as fuck and deadly that's for sure. At this point I'm a bit uneasy as it is completely silent, not a fucking sound. I mean this is deep, thick forest, why am I not hearing any animals? Immediately after this realization I come upon an opening finally. Down below it's now swampy and dark, the trees are far and few between and rise out of these deep dark pools of water. I'm creeped out at this point, it's eerie as fuck out here, I'm totally alone and I'm getting tired. I start crossing this very sketchy old wooden bridge, slowly, and then hear this deep low grumble and immediately pause. Nothing but eerie empty silence, not a fucking sound all around me. I then carefully start again and realize it's just my tire, the fucking thing has gone flat. I have no idea how I didn't realize this earlier at any point in my trip, I mean it was totally and utterly dead. Then I hear this dreadful fucking blood-curdling scream tear through silence. I'm fucking teary-eyed and have goosebumps as I tell this. I am frozen, I have no idea what it was, no idea where it was, and of all fucking times my tire is fucking flat as a 9-year-old Chinese boy. A stick breaks and I immediately whip my bike around and started pedaling my fucking ass off. All of a sudden I start hearing shit crashing in the woods and I don't dare fucking look out there. I am swerving all over this shitty trail because it is covered in pebbles, holes, cracks, broken branches and all kinds of other shit that can all totally kill me at this speed. And somehow before I didn't see these clumps of white stringy fur all caught on the trees and along the trail. The sounds of something racing through this dense thick brush are so loud I can hear it over my horrendously obnoxious flat tire squishing and squashing on the ground as I am almost spinning the chain off the gear. At this point a million things are racing through my mind. My legs are absolutely burning from riding so far out into the woods and now blazing back on this goddamn tire, fuck. I swerved right on the edge of the trail and the sandy pebbly shit went flying out into the trees, jumped over a huge pothole and heard another loud ass scream. That didn't even faze me at this point. I am just pounding my legs, breathing so hard my chest hurts and waiting for my tire to explode at any moment and to finally get eaten by whatever the fuck is chasing me. I just missed the barricade, literally centimeters from crashing head first into the thing. Finally I see a light off in the distance, I'm close to getting back on the fields and back towards home. I'm filled with a new wind of energy and kick it in hyperdrive now. The sounds of crashing are now getting softer, slower. Then stop. I fucking made it, I finally made it. I'll zoom right out into the sunlight, I've never been happier in my fucking life to feel the sun in my eyes. At that moment I just stop, the fatigue just immediately hits me like a wave, I'm dead fucking tired and couldn't move another inch. I turned my head around to look back at whatever the fuck was there, and in the darkness I see two red burning eyes just staring right at me. I felt my entire body go cold. Then in a flash, they were gone. I rode back fast as I could, but eventually slowed down and crawled my way all the way back. I downed what little bit of water I had left, and even though it was hot I wasn't sweating one drop. I was literally frozen from that stare. Did I see a fucking goatman/x/? Tomorrow I'm getting a gun license and buying a shotgun and never going out into those woods again. Fuck, I'm even considering moving into a city away from any wooded areas now. Could you describe it? Dude, you get a good look? It was tall, taller than me at least, and I'm 6 feet 2 inches. It was slim and had long limbs, and I could see it was pale under the scattered light that broke through the canopy.
I don't really post to /x/, but I have a story that I really want to share. The start of the story all started a few years ago. The first odd thing that happened was when I was taking my little dog out one night. I was kneeling in the grass beat leaves with a stick or something when all of a sudden I start hearing leaves crackling. Note that my house is out in the middle of redneck Farmville in North Carolina, and we are surrounded by forest on 2.5 sides and partially on the third. And there was this alleyway between my house and our garden with the woods as a backdrop. This was the area the noise was coming from. Both me and my dog became silent and just looked around and sat for a few minutes. Couldn't see shit, so it was kinda useless, but whatever. Suddenly my dog starts whimpering while looking around at that art. I quickly run back to the house with my dog. eBay had a sense of uneasiness leaving my house at night before and had already darted to my front door countless times already, so I note the fuck out. Fast forward some time, me and my family are coming home from Tractor Supply. When we see that our donkeys, we have horses and donkeys, and at one point a pig, had escaped. As we are trying to detain them, we notice a giant fucking hole in the fence. Mind you, the fence was pretty fucking sturdy. It was made out of long 2x4s, don't know if that's how you say it, and had been there for a decade plus. With minor repairs, and these motherfuckers just split right through it like it was nothing, all 3 boards. Now these donkeys are pretty big, granted easily scared, but not afraid to charge mastiff dogs, forgive potential misspelling. For something to scare them to the point of busting down 3 fence posts meant it had to be something big. Anyways, some time passes, and either the same day or a few days later when we get back from doing something, the boards are broke again. WTF, these first broke 3 boards twice, with the newest set being fresh? Some time passes, we had a few minor things happen that I can vaguely remember, but not enough so that I can write it down. Then the really weird shit happens. I'm walking back from our old, fallen down, barn either through long dry grass or through the path. And then suddenly, everything goes quiet, dead ass. All the crickets and grasshoppers and other bugs just all go silent. Me being confused decided to walk backwards, and then boom, everything starts back up again. Legit, in an instance, all the crickets, grasshoppers, and God knows what else just started up again. Me being dumbfounded decided to try this again and walk forward. Dead silence. Walked back, everything is loud again. By the way, for those of you not aware, bugs out in the country and super fucking loud, not deafening, but easily heard. Anyways, I figured out what area I was crossing in which this happened, and no joke, found a line, metaphorical, in which every time I passed everything stopped. I think even some birds might have gone quiet. Suffice to say, I fought hard. Anyways, some time passed. I was outside one night recording a video on my phone of me walking around, and then boom clash asterisk. I heard the sound of metal fucking shitting itself. My first thought was thunder, but not a single droplet of rain or ounce of lightning. I GTFO as quick as I could. I still have the footage somewhere, I think. Anyways, next day I was out walking around and see a stack of sheet metal, like the kind you put on a barn's roof. Not really out of the ordinary considering it had been there for some time, but I suspect that was what made the noise. Thing is, those sheets are fucking 2 ounces and have cinder blocks on them. Not saying you couldn't lift them up, but it was 100% not wind. I haven't even heard that kind of a noise in hurricanes. But yeah, that about sums up the stories I can remember. It's all been happening over the course of years. I'm sorry, I can't remember much. But it's definitely strange. About a year ago, I started digging a hole near a tree to make a bunker-like think. Built some wooden walls and added a trash bag tarp roof a few months later. I had planned on staking out one night and hunting for whatever the fuck is messing with me/my family, and maybe even streaming it as proof. But I haven't so far. If anybody has any ideas on what's going on / what I should have opened. I also live in NC around a rural area and had a run-in with one. While making a late trip to the store, I heard a strange howl/screech that I have never heard before or since. Immediately after, I heard something ripping a dog apart. I had assumed it was a coyote, so I took my pistol with me. After riding along the back road a mile or so, my front tire gives out. Like from full to just nothing in the span of 3 seconds. I slowly inch to the nearest gas station, not stopping in a dark-ass back road. I phone my family and they help with getting a spare on. On the ride back, I am driving ahead of my brother, who owns a big truck with ditch lights. They can light stuff up like crazy. Well, on the same back road, my brother hits his ditch lights to keep deer away. We get back home and he comes running at me. I just saw fucking this Ferratu. I try to calm him down a bit, but he rushes me inside with him. My parents are on the front porch talking with some visiting family, so I go let my dog out. I notice some red orbs out in the woods like a car's brake light, but it's super dim. After talking to him, he told me the creature looked directly at him and it was gray/white. It was in a crouched stance and had no nose. It looked super skinny and almost skeletal-like. Well, about a week or two later, I am working on my car with my dad. It's around 8 p.m. We hear some crunching in the nearby woods, then a cat hiss, then what sounds like a cat being attacked. I ran inside to get a gun, then returned outside to my father. He said he saw a big gray dog. I keep my gun close by. We hear some steps again, but after running towards the area with our guns, it fucked off. Right after my dad saged our house. Haven't seen much else since nearby. One of the scary instances that happened to me. Apologies for being pre-funds. So no funds in this one. Be 20-something. Metalhead with metalhead friends. NorCal East Bay area before everything went to complete shit in that state. We all liked to party, and being in the Tri-Valley area, there was fuck all to do. We made things interesting now and then, and would find weird spots to get fucked up. One night, bored of getting fucked up at bro's house, decide to go somewhere and get shit-faced. One metalhead bro says he knows of an abandoned mine out on Tesla Road. We all agree, gather up brothers and broettes, about 8 of us, grab beers, weed, flashlights and head out. Drive up in a hills. Area around the Altamont Pass is always windy. Always. That's why there's so many windmills. Fucking wind howling at night. Brush and scraggly trees being bent this way and that. Blasting Slayer/Megadeth/Metallica as we drive. Takes a good half hour to get to destination. Pick related. Park cars here, pile out. Metal Bro says no flashlights as it's private property, and the light would be seen. Hop the gate, and start walking between the hills. Shit is creepy out here. Wind howling between the brown grassy mounds. Clouds making flickering shadows. Light alternating between bright to dark as they rip across the sky. Exit between 2 hills, and a rolling valley opens up. Way off in the distance is the only man-made light from a distant building. Walk along a dirt path that rounds to the right. About half a mile of walking. WTF Metal Bro, you didn't say we'd have to walk this fucking far. Lazy_asses.jpg. Distinct feeling of isolation, and can literally feel the distance between where we're at and where the cars are parked. Fuck hope nothing happens. As we round a bend, a pit opens up down the path with old mine trailings piled up. Face of a large hill is scarred from early 1900s mining operations. Old abandoned equipment stands alone in the pit where the trailing are. Metal Bro says nope. Entrance we need is up the face a bit. Walk up a narrow path above the pit. When we get up to the top of the trail, Metal Bro points. That's our entrance. WTF.png. Tiny opening we have to crawl through to get inside the mine. Everyone including bitches crawling in. I follow. Flashlights on. Big cave with tons of graffiti inside. Empty beers everywhere. Towards the back, 2 paths lead out of the main chamber. One to the left and one to the right. Right side is a vertical descent straight down. Old wooden ladder with broken rungs. Left side is another large opening, with a narrow trail around the circumference. Middle is filled with debris that slopes down into a pit on one side, like an antlion pit. Proceed to get shit-faced. Beers drank, weed smoked. May have 45 minutes pass. Having good time, hear noise. Not from entrance. From deeper inside the cave. Fuck, what was that? Everyone looking at each other nervously. Silence deckens. Mood goes from party central to stone cold sober. Hear another noise. Two brave, or stupid, brothers decide they're going to go look. Okay, have fun with that. Can't go down ladder. No fucking way, to would be suicide for sure. They go the left path. Watch as the two idiots walk the narrow path around the antlion pit. Their flashlights disappear as they reach the far side and continue on into another part of the mine. Rest of us silent, looking at each other. Moaning noise, not even remotely human. It came from the vertical shaft, almost positive. Cave with previously still air suddenly has movement. Can feel a very slight, very cold breeze. Can hear brothers coming back fast. More noises heard, not just the noise of bros' shoes as they're coming back, but other noises. Like something moving, following after them. Oh fuck this shit. Mov. Brothers say get the fuck out. Cramming through tiny opening to get back outside. Wind screaming, clouds covering most of the sky, hardly any light. All of us are out. We're running back down the road. Look behind. Something shadowy emerges from the mine entrance. Jesus_fuck.html. We're all running as fast as we can. The lights in the building way in the distance are off now. Car can be seen on the road where the building is, headed towards us, moving slowly but with purpose. We round the hill, hop the gate and get in the cars, firing up the engines. Something is there between the hills a ways back from the gate. Holy shit. Drive. Can see soft glow as the headlights from the vehicle that was driving up the path start to illuminate the side of the hill. Dark thing looks like it turns its head towards the direction the vehicle is coming, then darts up the right side of the hill into the darkness. Fucking haul ass out of there. No music on the way back. We're all silent. Bitches are shaking and almost in tears. Get back to bro's house. We all just look at each other for a few minutes, then call it a night. To this day we still don't know what it was, why it was chasing us. We never went back to that place again. I still think of that night, whenever the clouds are tearing across the sky in front of the moon.